Hello, hockey fans. My name is David. Thought I would start recording this message on the afternoon of Tuesday, 1st of March, North American Eastern Time. As of the beginning of this recording, it's almost 2:40 in my home time zone. I'm in the city of Toronto. I am a fan of the Leafs of the NHL, but during the regular season and preseason, I typically also follow the remaining North Division teams, or teams that were last season in the North Division. In short, the Habs, Senators, Winnipeg Jets, Calgary Flames, Edmonton Oilers, and Vancouver Canucks. Hopefully, a former North Division team other than the Habs will win a Stanley Cup before the Habs next win one of theirs. Of course, it's not been easy though, because the Habs have been very good over the years. So what I will do now is, I know that Canuck Play hasn't yet posted video in the aftermath of the Canucks loss to the New Jersey Devils. I don't know why that is. I don't care. I'm gonna try to do as well as try to get the movement going. I'm gonna try to at least one thing I liked, one thing I didn't, and another thing if I possibly can about each of the games that the Leafs and Canucks played, both of them on the road in the Northeast U.S. megalopolis. The Leafs case in Newark, in New Jersey, and the Canucks case in Newark, in New Jersey, the Leafs case down in D.C. So, what I liked about the Leafs, I picked quite a few things. Leafs won at least half their face-offs. Well, they won half of them, which is important. Under half is a big problem. Leafs managed to take only just 4 penalties, all the minors. Apparently gave away the puck very few times, 4 versus the Capitals 11. Also liked that the Leafs had scoring from diversity, not just on goals, but assists. For instance, on goals, Michael Bunting, Justin Hall, and Pierre Engvall on goals outside the Matthews, Marner, Tavares, Nylander quartet. On assists, Sandin on the first goal, Kerfoot on the second Leaf goal, Riley on the third. Also like that overall the Leafs were able to score at even strength. Hell, that was the good thing, because the Leafs couldn't score on their own power play. I'll get into what I didn't like in a moment. So, for starters, the Capitals outshot the Leafs 33-28. That has to be a concern. Another concern is being out-hit 39-23. To be fair, the Leafs did win, but being out-hit is pretty commonplace, and ends up not, too often when the Leafs have been out-hit, they haven't won the game. Another thing, penalty kill, not too good. Thanks to Tom Wilson, ended up having the Capitals deficit from 3-1 to 3-2, score on a power play, assisted by Ovechkin and Carlson. That's not good. Allowing someone to score on your own power play is not a good sign. Secondly, the Leafs power play sucked again. When was the last time Leafs scored a power play goal? We're going to get the Penguins a couple weeks ago? Yeah. You ever thinking the same thing? You're not alone. Once again, the Leafs went 0 for 4 on the power play. And even worse, for the first time in a while, allowed a goal against it. Well, by Tom Wilson, who ended up tying the game early on in the third period, assisted by Fehérváry and Carlson. So the Leafs have to work on their power play. Having a goal scored against is not good. It's not good. So yeah, another thing is 3 or more goals once again. And that's important because You give up 3 or more goals, you're more likely to lose. And Leafs haven't done as well when they've given up at least 3 goals as opposed to when they've given up not more than 2. So another thing as well is Peter Mrazek absolutely helped the Leafs stay in the game and win it. I know that Elliot Friedman of Sportsnet claimed a couple of over the weekend that that Mrazek should get the start against Capitals. Leafs certainly cut down the number of goals they allowed, and certainly I went after that Red Wing game thinking, oh no, are the Leafs going to win against the Capitals? It's got a serious problem on defense. Well, the Canucks should have paid more attention to that sense of dread. I mean, if I were a Canucks fan thinking, wow, 10-7, Leafs end up winning it over the Red Wings. We Canucks had better not repeat what the Leafs did or else we could end up losing. Well, but right on cue, the Canucks didn't take that advice to heart. So, what did I like about the Canucks? Well, they outshot the Devils 38-33. They won over half the faceoffs, even though just slightly more, 52%, versus the Devils 48%. They ended up, they ended up scoring a couple goals. They weren't completely shut out. They ended up out hitting the Devils 35-26. And although, giveaways, they gave away the puck fewer times, apparently, than the Devils. But to be fair, a lot of those were costly. So, what I not like about that Canucks game? Well, I know it's back-to-back, and although I do give credit for the Canucks, for winning, getting 2 points out of a back-to-back, something the Leafs didn't do in the last back-to-back series. Habs on last week Monday, and then the Blue Jackets Tuesday, which Leafs earned only 1 point in that. I do give credit for the Canucks' earlier win against the New York Rangers, because the Canucks definitely need those points. They could have used at least one more, but didn't. So power play, thumbs down. The only penalty they got, the only power play they got, they ended up not doing well. And the Devils, on the penalty kill, Leafs had, Canucks had to kill off 2 penalties. As low as the Canucks kept their penalty minutes, they didn't manage to kill off. They killed off only 1 penalty. To be fair, though, on even strength is where the Canucks, ended up being badly outplayed and outscored. Take away the power play goal by Dawson Mercer from Brad and Nico Hischier. The Canucks were outscored, full stop, 6-2. Can you ask for much worse? And to end off things, Jaro Halak, the Canucks' own Slavic goalie, ended up allowing at least a couple of ugly goals and had a save percentage in that game of under 65. Mike Hutchinson, the third-string Leaf goalie, ended up having a save percentage in that game of in a home game against San Jose Sharks last October of over 85, but under 90. To be fair, I think Hutchinson's bad and has gotten a start since that game. Well, question that perhaps Bruce Boudreau and GM Patrick Alvin should ask is whether to use Halak any more times this season other than just as a bench warmer. It's a good question to ask because Demko has played a lot of games. It's also important to remember that, all right, I'm just going to, so I'm going to go now. I'm just going to see if I can get that clip about the overuse of goalies. So all I'm going to do is going to go to, all right, 90%. There was, in 2020, a claim made by Carlo Koliakovo, a co-host of Toronto-based TSN 1050 radio morning show, First Up 1050, about the use of a goalie in 90% of one's games. So what I'm going to do is try to respond to that here.
Certainly are going to.
All right. So,
from Koyakovo about that claim about Cal being an upgrade on, supposedly having been an upgrade on Hutchinson. To this shoot.
Today's game, you can't play your. It all started when he decided to move on from McElwain because they had Garrett Sparks. But clearly, he was nothing better than an American League goalie. In today's game, you can't play your number one goalie 90% of the game. You can't.
No.
You can't. Jack Campbell is an upgrade under Michael Hutchinson, but he still has to go out and prove his worth.
Yep.
I was sad to see Trevor Moore go because I had a lot of high expectations for the guy this year. I really liked what I saw from him last year, but then you look at the trade that the Maple Leafs made and the players they acquired. Kyle Clifford, Jack Campbell, again, another guy who played for Kyle Dubas, a guy Kyle Dubas traded for in the OHL. He makes $675 this year. That's less than Michael Hutchinson. And what Kyle Dubas was able to do in the trade is have the LA Kings absorb half of the contract for Kyle Dubas so they could still fit under the cap. It cost them Trevor Moore, who's a really good player that
I don't remember Trevor Moore, but
hopefully the Kings comes back and yeah, it'll cost them. It all started.
Well, yeah, well, that was the problem. These right up against the cap, and they have to make all this magic. Thankfully, you was able to get a good one, good goalie. Problem is, Campbell's been overused, and there's a danger to being overused. I mean, look at the Edmonton Oilers, in the last playoff series, against Winnipeg Jets. There was that long overtime. I think it was like 47 minutes of overtime in that game 4. Yeah. That was a long overtime, one of the longest, the longest games, one of the longest, playoff games that involved at least one former North Division team. I think North Division was an all-Canadian division. That was last season. So basically from January to May of 2021.
well, there's also been the concern, about Demko having been overused, and it's starting to bite the Canucks in the rear, well, figuratively speaking, and that's a problem. Having a good goalie, it may very well be it's time for the Canucks to move on from Halak. I haven't yet watched that Donnie Daly show. Probably about Halak, at least in part, but when it is, I'm definitely interested, to see maybe there's coverage on TSN Radio 1050 of Toronto about the Canucks game, and but anyway, hopefully Leafs, will keep up their momentum, keep the goals against down, ideally at most 2, but it's not going to be easy. But Leafs did do a much better job. Rask did a much better job than he had done on Saturday, or that Campbell done on Saturday. So for now, I'd say keep Mrazek in net, keep it going until Mrazek falters. For Halak, gotta wonder, maybe it's time to bring up Spencer Martin for the minors for the Canucks, because it seems that if Halak is, performs as badly as Hutchinson did, that should be a red flag. It was for the Leafs. Hutchinson's been with the Marlies ever since, and thank God Hutchinson's contract will be up for renewal at the end of the season. But I won't be sad to see Hutch go, because he wasn't clutch this season when he needed to be. Hopefully he will not ever again start at the NHL level for the Leafs. Anyway, go Leafs go.